With the 2024 tennis season slowly coming to an end, it feels like a good time to make a balance of everything that has happened throughout the year. One way of doing this is taking a look at the winners and losers, according to performance and expectations. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it, starting with those who might now go on holidays in a happy mood, the winners. Number 1, Novak Djokovic. It might seem a little weird to catalog Novak as a winner, when he's had arguably one of his worst seasons in a long time. This year was the first time we've genuinely seen him struggle against the younger players. However, I'm sure you will remember that early in August, he won the only important title he hadn't won yet, one that had been escaping from him on previous occasions. That's the Olympic gold medal. With the Olympics taking place only once every 4 years, the 2024 edition in Paris was very likely his last realistic shot at winning it. And in incredible fashion, he managed to achieve the milestone, beating Alcaraz in the final, in what was one of the best matches of the season.
Olympic Games!
Therefore, there's no doubt Novak is a winner in 2024. After he achieved the gold medal, he relaxed a little bit and didn't play many matches for the remainder of the year. He has now said that his focus has switched only to Grand Slams and team competitions representing Serbia. This is what someone does when he has basically completed the sport, having won absolutely everything. While right now it doesn't look very likely that we'll see him winning another Grand Slam next year, we are talking about Novak Djokovic, so you never know. He can never be counted out. We'll see what the Serbian plans are for next season. Number 2, Carlos Alcaraz. More of an obvious one, another player who can finish the year extremely proud of his accomplishments this season is Carlos Alcaraz. Even though his results after he lost the Olympics final to Djokovic might not have been particularly great, he still won an ATP 500 title in Beijing though. His first half of the year was very good. Especially in the most important tournaments, Carlitos performed, just like he has us accustomed to. He added 2 more Grand Slam titles to his tally, including one that he hadn't won yet, Roland Garros. Very likely that was the first of many, which by the way was not easy to obtain. He had to beat Sinner and Zverev in back-to-back 5-set matches. A few weeks later at Wimbledon, he made Djokovic look like a beginner in the final. This young Spaniard doesn't seem to know how to lose slam finals for the time being. Now, the only one absent in his trophy cabinet is Australia, stating that he has arrived at the end of the season very tired, maybe with a good holiday and pre-season. We might see him win in Melbourne and complete the career Grand Slam next year. Only time will tell. Number 3, Alexander Zverev. Finishing the year at his career high ranking of world number 2, Alexander Zverev is wrapping up his season as close as he has ever been to the world number 1 spot, even though he is a few thousand points away. Winning 2 Masters 1000 titles in Rome and Paris, and reaching a Grand Slam final at Roland Garros. He's had a very consistent year, like he usually does. He's said many times that his goal is to win that Grand Slam title, from which he has been 1 set away on 2 occasions already. However, I do believe that he is getting closer and closer, and next year could finally be the time when he achieves it. He already has the experience, and while he seemingly does find it hard to hold his nerves under pressure on those instances, this year he proved to be on the right path. If nothing changes, he'll be the 2nd seed in Australia, so do not be surprised if he delivers a surprise in Melbourne. Number 4, Alex de Minaur. Let's be honest, if I asked you at the beginning of the season, how many of you would have predicted Alex de Minaur to qualify for the ATP Finals? I'm sure not many. Even though he started the year ranked number 12, at the best ranking of his career, I don't think many people thought he would be able to maintain that over the lapse of 2024. However, not only did he manage to do that, but he also upped his level of tennis significantly. He reached a career high ranking of number 6 in the world and is finishing the season at number 9, inside the world's best 10 players, for the first time in his career. Making the quarterfinals at 3 out of the 4 slams is not an easy feat by any means, and his season is even more admirable when we take into account that he lost nearly 2 months after getting injured at Wimbledon, where he was unable to play his quarterfinals match due to an injury sustained in the last point of his previous match. He won a 500 event for the 2nd time in his career, defending his title in Acapulco, and is arguably in the form of his life. He was one of the big surprises of this season, and I'm sure all of us look forward to seeing him perform next year. Number 5, Jack Draper. Jack Draper started the year ranked number 61 in the world and is finishing it in the 15th spot, the best he has ever been ranked. Only that sentence summarizes what this year has been for the young Brit, who has finally been able to play without major injuries, unleashing his whole potential. Prior to this year, he had only reached 1 ATP final, which he had lost. In 2024, he reached a further 3, managing to win his first 2 career titles in Stuttgart on grass and in Vienna's indoor hard courts, his biggest title to date. In addition, he made his first Grand Slam semifinal in New York. We always knew what Jack was capable of, but this was the year he was finally able to showcase it to the world. If he manages to stay fit and improve his consistency a little bit, we'll surely hear a lot from this 22-year-old in the upcoming year. What do you think about these players? Are they all winners? Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments section below as we continue with the losers of the 2024 ATP Tour season. Number 1, Jannik Sinner. This is truly weird to say. A player who has won 2 Grand Slams, reached the world number 1, won 8 titles and 69 matches throughout the season, is actually the main loser of the year. Jannik Sinner's case is controversial. What he has achieved this year is remarkable, to say the least. It is the best season a player outside of the Big Four has had in a very, very long time. However, there's something we can't omit, and that's the positive doping test he got in Indian Wells, that we all got to know in August. We don't know what the truth is, nor what will happen in the upcoming weeks. He was initially declared innocent by the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, but the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, appealed that decision, and the case is now being reviewed by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS. The final ruling is expected in early 2025, so we'll have to wait to see how everything unfolds. Ultimately, while Sinner was able to win a lot, mentally it must not have been an easy year at all. His name has now been stained, and nobody knows what the future might hold for his career. Number 2, Daniil Medvedev. We've spoken about Daniil in a recent video. It was a tough year for him, both physically, with some problems in his shoulders, and mentally as well. While he is still finishing the year in the top 5, having had a very consistent season, the feeling we got from seeing him play this year is that something was just not right. His weapons were not working as they used to, and that translated into his results. By the way, these were very good, but not quite as good as he has us accustomed to, and as we expected them to be. He did not win any titles this season, and struggled a lot against the young guns Sinner and Alcaraz. He stated that he is happy for his season to come to an end, and that he'll work in the preseason to evolve his game in order to find answers to what the younger guys are proposing. Hopefully, we'll see him deliver in 2025. Number 3, Andrei Rublev. There's no doubt 2024 has been an extremely tough season for Andrei Rublev, not only tennis-wise, but most importantly, mentally. His results this season have not been as good as usual. Still, he managed to qualify for the ATP Finals in Turin. It was the Masters 1000 title in Madrid that literally came out of nowhere because he was very ill that week that saved his season. Besides that, he won a title in Hong Kong at the beginning of the year and reached the final in Montreal. But still, the overall feeling about his season is not good. He lost a lot of matches that he usually wouldn't lose, but that's not the terrible part. The tough thing was seeing how he punished himself for making mistakes, seeing how uncomfortable, frustrated, and sad he was on the court on many occasions. This is something that's not new, but this year has been very notorious from the Russian. Being one of the nicest guys on tour, hopefully he can get the help he needs, and then he'll be able to get back on track, providing us with the tennis we all know he can produce. Number 4, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Knowing how high his aspirations are, 2024 has certainly not been a good year for Stefanos Tsitsipas. He's been struggling with his game, and his results are a good demonstration of that. Only at some point during the clay court season was he able to produce some of his best tennis, which helped him win his 3rd Masters 1000 title in Monte Carlo and reach his only other final of the season in Barcelona. Besides that, it has not been great. He started the year ranked well inside the top 10 in the 6th spot and is finishing it outside, ranked number 11. Apart from the struggles with his game, the issues with his father and coach have certainly not helped him either. We all know how hard-working Stefanos is, so if he manages to surround himself with the right people for the season to come, he will most likely return to where he belongs and start performing well again in the most important tournaments. Number 5, Holger Rune. Holger Rune's season has been to some extent similar to the one Tsitsipas had. He is another very hard-working guy, with very high aspirations, but this year things just did not click for him. He reached only one final at the very beginning of the year in Brisbane, and then it was a very inconsistent season until the last few weeks, when he eventually found some consistency and form again. Just like Tsitsipas, he started the year ranked inside the top 10 at number 8, and is finishing it well outside at number 13. He has also been struggling with his coaching staff, making various changes throughout the season, none of which seem to have worked. There's no doubt he will be working hard during preseason to get back to his best level of tennis, so hopefully he does that surrounded by the right group of people. If he nails that, he is still very young, and believe me, we'll see him bounce back. Do you guys agree that these players are the main losers of the 2024 season? Or did you think about any others? Let us know in the comments. If you made it to this point and enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss any of our future uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.